social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. We haven't done a live stream in a while. So I figured let's go ahead and do it. And wouldn't you know, right when I'm getting ready to go live, StreamYard has rolled out a whole bunch of new features or like a new format. So hopefully I don't mess this up because I'm like, where did this stuff go? Where did my stuff go? Anyway, wait, I can do this. Hold on, let's see if this works. Oh, that's something new. Okay. Well, welcome. Show this. I appreciate you. What is this? Oh, okay. I see. I like it. There we go. Pretty dope. Shout out to StreamYard. They stay, StreamYard, they catch a bad rap because they had some glitches when they first started. They were having some problems. And quite a few content creators, they got on board and they were having some problems and they said, nah, not so much. Well, the new platform that everybody was going to, I just didn't like it. So I said, I'm gonna go back to StreamYard. I'm gonna just work through the glitches. And lo and behold, I worked through them and I think it paid off pretty well. So shout out to you, StreamYard. I appreciate you. Oh wow. I wonder how long that'll play on the bottom of my screen. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. All right, let's see. All right, so I wanted to test out some things and see how they worked. And then I want to talk about this Epstein list. And then we're going to get out of here. Me and President Firstborn are going to go, President, Chief Executive Secondborn, please forgive me, are going to go driving today. She's got to learn how to drive. So we're going to probably drive up the highway. She's yelling, saying she doesn't want to drive. The girl's a trip. Anyway, shout out to Chief Executive Secondborn. We're going to get that driving skills down so she can be on point. I want her to be a good driver. Oh, wow. They've added a whole bunch of new things. What do you know about that? Okay, shout out to StreamYard. Oh, if I was doing a Q&A, I could do it like this and tell you that we're doing a Q&A. Okay, I see StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. All right. Let me drop this out of the way. Okay, let me do it like this. I'm just going to leave the subscribe at the bottom. I think I did that right. Oh, like and subscribe. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about it. We got to talk about this FBI. I think at this point in the game, whether you are a Democrat, whether you are a Republican, whether you're independent, whatever your political stripe is, I think with this FBI and this Epstein list, it's fair to say they're playing in our faces. They're just playing in our faces. And it is fair for us to say, we got to do something different. So let's pull this in. I want to get your thoughts on it and talk a little bit about it. Let's pull this in. Don't do that wrong. There we go. All right. Epstein client list doesn't exist, the feds say, despite Musk's claim that Trump is on it. The memo comes a month after former Trump ally Elon Musk accuses the president of being on the Epstein files. Can we just admit that they're playing in our faces now? So what did the woman go to jail for? She was the Epstein's assistant. What did she go to jail for? She was trafficking nobody to nobody? Like, this is just crazy. Jeffrey Epstein had no client list, according to a new memo from the Department of Justice and the FBI a month after Elon Musk accused President Trump of being on it. The convicted PDF file died of self-deletion in a New York City jail cell on August 10th, 2019. So wow, it's been 5 years almost. The new 2-page memo also confirmed, following years of conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's departure. They're just playing. They're just literally playing in our faces. There's no other way around it. The convicted PDF died. I just said that. Please forgive me. This systematic review revealed no incriminating client lists, the memo reads. So we don't know anybody who was serviced by Jeffrey Epstein, flew on his planes, been to his island, nothing whatsoever. Okay. All right. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed potential individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. So, so what has this all been about? You mean to tell me there's no list? So I forgot her name. Her last name is Maxwell. She went to jail and she's currently in jail because she trafficked women to nobody. Really? The law enforcement agencies released 10 hours of surveillance footage from the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan, where Epstein spent his final days. So apparently, this is a snuff film where we know that nobody came in and nobody helped Epstein on his eternal journey. He put himself out of his own misery, allegedly, is what we're being told. Okay, all right. The conclusion that Epstein passed away by self-deletion is further supported by video footage from the common area of the special housing unit where Epstein was housed at the time of his departure. The memo, first reported by Axios, reads. All right. As DOJ Inspector General explained in 2023, anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the SHU, Special Housing Unit, common area would have been captured by this footage. Okay, that's fair. There's still just too many questions. And at this point, let's just admit they're playing in our faces, y'all. They're absolutely playing in our faces. The new memo is clear that no new evidence has been found related to the Epstein case, and no further investigations will be launched into other individuals. So this is very telling. The new memo is clear that no new evidence has been found. So whatever evidence they have is the evidence that they're looking at. They're not looking for new evidence or their attempts to find new evidence. Nothing's shown up related to the case and no further investigation. So what they have right now says we don't need to look for anybody else. We don't need to go investigate anybody else or anything of that nature. Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, that's who it is. I know I mispronounced that. Y'all be merciful to me. Ghislaine is serving 20-year prison sentence for child trafficking offenses. Where did she traffic them to? Here in Atlanta, we're known for some pretty gnarly traffic, but you know where you're going to. Like, I'm going to Buckhead. I'm going to Midtown. I'm going to the airport. I'm trying to get home. So at least you know where you're going. So who did she traffic these poor children to? Did she traffic them to Italy, to France, to Dubai, or Latin America, or somewhere in America? Where did she traffic them to? And can we also just ask, to who? This is so crazy. No further disclosure of inappropriate or warranted. The DOJ and FBI memo concludes. So even though they went and did that whole campaign tour with the influencers coming to see the FBI files, remember that last year? And like a lot of it was redacted and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi has been under intense pressure, right, to provide an update on the Epstein case since the president issued an executive order demanding the government make public documents related to the cases of national interest. Where are those cases? Where are they, Pammy? Pammy, where are they? It comes after months of speculation, including a White House photo op where 8 where right-wing MAGA influencers were provided with binders, right, of Epstein's documents, largely containing information already in the public domain. Hold on one second. Let me just click on this real quick and see. Because it just looks so cheesy when they did. Yes, here it is. Here's the cheesiest picture in North America. There can't be a picture less cheesy than this, more cheesier than this. You go to it and they give you this folder, and all these people are photo opping with the folder, the binder, but all the information in it was already readily available already. That's so cheesy. And then for them to turn around and say, there's nothing here. That's so janky. All right. With binders of Epstein documents largely containing information already in the public domain. Epstein, a wealthy, well connected financier, has long been the subject of conspiracy theories that he kept a secret list of famous and powerful people to whom he trafficked underage girls for S. There has also been wild speculation that he was deleted in prison to stop him from revealing details of their crimes. That's him. NBC's footage shows Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein in 1992. So that was what, 35 years ago? Wow. The president denied being on the Epstein files after Musk launched an accusation. Trump appointed FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino were formerly some of the most high-profile MAGA influencers who questioned how Epstein passed away. Since joining the agency's leadership, Bongino and Patel have stopped pushing the conspiracy that Epstein was deleted. Other leading figures in MAGA world have continued to question the official statement. Elon Musk has seized upon the Epstein files to attack Trump, the Trump administration, and the president directly after their relationship broke down when he left the White House. Last month, during a bitter war of words on social media, Musk alleged that the reason there have been no updates on the Epstein investigation was because Trump's name is mentioned in the files. Okay, I may have heard it. This is my only problem with that. What's going on, good people? Thank y'all so much for stopping by today. This is my only question. If Biden had access to this information and they knew that Donald Trump was on it, why would he not have completely rolled that out? Why wouldn't Kamala have completely rolled that out and just torpedoed Trump's campaign? And now let me play the advocate. If Trump has these files and his name is not on it, and Biden's name is on it, or Clinton or Obama or whomever else, why is he not rolling it out? That's what I'm saying. I think they're just playing in our faces. I think they're just playing in our faces. I don't think there's any intention of them being forthright with us. I think they are literally just it's just a theater. It's a spectacle. It's just a spectacle. Real quick. I don't know what happened. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. Last month, we already know that. Time to drop a really big bomb, Musk posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. Donald Trump is in Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a great day, DJT. They need to go fix their bromance. They need to go fix their relationship in real time, for real, for real. Because that is crazy. He followed up shortly after, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Oh, there's that cheesy picture. What are you holding? Oh, why? Why are you holding these up? This just looks so cheesy to me. I made the screen too big. Sorry about that. They said the client list does not exist. MAGA influencers at the White House in February received phase one of the Epstein files, which contained already public information. After a botched release, Pam Bondi reportedly tried to find more material to appease right-wing influencers. I got questions, y'all. I think we are going to need to have a real conversation and say, these people are playing in our faces. It is playing. Because didn't Pam Bondi at one point say that there was some real files, but now all of a sudden they're saying that they're not? Trump denied being on the list and shared a statement from a former Epstein lawyer, David Schoen, that said that the president wasn't implicated. I can say authoritatively and unequivocally and definitively that Epstein had no information to hurt President Trump, says Schoen, who also represented Trump in the first impeachment trial. Well, there's no conflict there. Musk deleted his post a few days later, said that he had taken things too far. But this weekend, Trump reignited the feud with the world's richest man, saying Musk had gone off the rails. The tech billionaire responded by posting a meme, a digital display set to 0 to serve as the official Jeffrey Epstein PDF file arrest counter. Yikes. Ugh. Goodness. That is true, though. Why is it that we have all these high profile cases and literally it's just court TV, political theater, but not actually bringing about any real change? We had the Diddy trial. Really, let's just tell the truth. It was a nothing burger. YSL, really nothing. Karen Reed, nothing. We have all these high profile cases and nothing happens of them. Tiffany Henyard, nothing. Mayor Adams up in New York, nothing. Now there are cases. Let's be fair though, Jason. You got to be fair. Okay, there are cases where things do pop off. Marilyn Mosby. Okay, got you. But like Letitia James, is she going to ever get held accountable? Do y'all really think she's going to get held accountable? I mean, there's countless other ones that Mayor Cantrell down in New Orleans. Are they going to get held account for what they've done? Or is it just going to just skate on by? I want to know. But let's get this out. Let's go. Musk launched, let me stop that. Okay. The tech billionaire zero count. Musk launched a fresh attacks early Monday following the release of the memo, which he called the final straw. The Tesla boss, who said that he was launching his own political party, shared a series of memes mocking the administration's handling of the Epstein case. I wonder why that's such a big deal. Like, I don't know about mocking him. Like, it's been sitting out there the dude has been dead for, again, 5 years, almost 6 years. Okay. News that the DOJ and FBI would not be investigating further infuriated key MAGA figureheads, including Laura Loomer, who releases a statement about the Epstein files on Sunday night of 4th of July weekend. Loomer, one of Bondi's fiercest critics, said in a post on X, someone who doesn't want you paying attention. When will AG Pam Bondi be filing to unseal the Epstein files from the criminal case? Jack, wow, one of the influencers who was given an Epstein binder, said on X, we were promised everything. All right, and that is the end of it. Got a quick little summary of it as well I'm going to bring in. This is very interesting because when the smoke clears, nothing really has happened. Like, nothing really has transpired in this case. We don't know why people went to jail. We know somebody went to jail, but we have no idea why they went to jail. Like, why is Maxwell in jail right now? We really don't know. And they are just playing. They are just dancing in our faces. And I think it's very telling, man. I think it's very telling that we don't know anything more than what we knew before Trump came back in office, man. In all honesty, That is the wildest thing. All right, so I was gonna look at the Hill. It tends to be a more left-leaning news outlet, so they were discussing this morning. So let's just bring this in, and then we can chop it up and get ready to bug out of here and go take my daughter driving. All right, let's go.
New bombshell regarding disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein this morning. Axios obtained a memo from the DOJ that concludes Epstein did not have a client list and that he died by suicide.
The agencies also say they found no evidence that Epstein blackmailed powerful people. The memo indicates that the Trump administration will release video proof showing that nobody entered the area where Epstein was held on the night he died.
Back in May, both Patel and Bongino said on Fox News they did believe that Epstein killed himself. Now, many on X and on Blue Sky are pointing to a Fox interview from February with Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Users are saying the video shows an apparent contradiction with the newly released findings. Let's watch.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
Liberal news outlet Midas Touch wrote on Blue Sky, the Epstein list went from sitting on Pam Bondi's desk right now to there is no list in just a few months.
Comedian and podcaster Dave Smith wrote on X, the Trump administration is lying about Epstein. Everyone knows it. Pay attention to who will admit that and who will run cover.
The memo indicates that there will be no more disclosures about the Epstein case as the agency says it's not warranted. The memo reads, through this review, we found no basis to revisit the disclosure of those materials and will not permit the release of child pornography.
This is outrageous, given what they have said previously. Yeah, here's the government. Oh, yes, we cannot see. There's no Epstein client list.
Right.
Look, so there's two possibilities here, neither of which are very good. One is that there's no client list. There's truly no damning involvement of anyone else. It's just that him and Ghislaine Maxwell were just sexually abusing people, and it was just the two of them doing it, even though he recorded everything that went on in his residence, and he extensively traveled and catered to and inculcated relationships with powerful and wealthy people from both political parties and from every aspects of finance and education and elite circles. And that was just all for no reason whatsoever. He just liked being friends with Bill Gates and others. Right. Okay. And there was nothing to it. Okay, fine. That's one possibility. So now that would still be totally contrary to what Pam Bondi and what everyone else has said all along, including in the administration. So shame on them if that's the case, because then they misled their own supporters and they clout chased. They were dishonest and they were liars. It's contemptible what they've done. The other case is actually the other situation is more nefarious, which is that there is something to Epstein's connections to everyone, and it is being kept secret for some kind of perhaps national security justification. This is just a rumor, and I don't like to spread conspiracy theories, but I have heard it wondered very openly whether he is an intelligence asset. He provided information on powerful people to our government or the Israeli government or someone else. Given how
okay. Well, let's just say if he was an intelligence asset, maybe that would make sense, but it really still doesn't. Why the Biden administration didn't release this information, or why the Trump administration isn't releasing it. I still don't get it. It still doesn't make sense. And to hear Pam say that it was, but now that it isn't, I'm sorry, now it was, but now it doesn't exist, is crazy work.
Aggressively, they're shutting the book on this and saying, nope, nothing there. That's all.
Yeah.
It's going to make the possibility of that, raise the specter of that being the reason. How I would cautiously say that.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is obviously going to stoke massive public suspicion for quite understandable reasons. Yes. I mean, let's start off with the fact that Jeffrey Epstein very obviously and ostentatiously cultivated friendships with extremely wealthy and extremely powerful people. Then he was assaulting and abusing very young women on a massive scale. It seems just hard to credibly argue that he himself never, as it were, connected those two things together, as in, I could use this influence or my friendships with the powerful to inure myself to some extent from the repercussions of his behavior in this respect. So in that sense, it's very, very suspicious. I also think a lot of people will have questions about the semantics of all of this. Like, whenever we talk about a client list, do people really, like, is the argument that there isn't one, that there is no document in his possession saying, here is my client list, A to Z, you know, that presumably isn't
These
there.
are the girls I specifically trafficked to them on this case. Yes,
exactly.
It is plausible that document does not exist.
Right.
But they have so many, and tons of files that were released. Also, it's worth pointing out, it could be that people in who should have known or done more to thwart Epstein or to bring him to justice much earlier are now trying to protect themselves, including Pam Bondi, who was the Attorney General of Florida for a relevant portion of time, I believe 2010 through the end of the decade, where Epstein was undergoing certain legal matters related to his prosecution and other things, so that maybe they just want to, I guess that's a middle ground nefariousness or just corruption. They think it'll be embarrassing to release more information about this. On the suicide thing specifically, I personally have always found it plausible that he did in fact kill himself. They're saying there's security footage that nobody else entered. I know prisons are neglectful places, and the usual objections I hear to that, well, how could you think that, Robbie? How could it be the case that the cameras aren't working in the jail, or that they left him alone for that long? Like, you don't know prison very well if you think that's unreasonable. The cameras are never working. They neglect. People die in prison all the time from medical conditions when they should be given treatment because nobody cares. It's not that some lowly, underpaid security guards, you know, went off for a smoke break for an extended period of time when they were supposed to be watching him. That is actually very plausible. So I am perfectly willing to believe he did kill himself, and also he has nothing to live for at that point. It's over for him. He's gonna go. It's plausible to me that he would do that. That there's no more information on people who were involved in what he was doing. That begins to strain credulity.
Yeah. I mean, the suicide thing, I think, is plausible either way. I mean, I am critical of lots of things that I consider conspiracy theories. I think with Epstein, it is so shady and it just smells to high heaven in so many different ways that there are legitimate grounds to be skeptical of it. Now, it may well be, excuse me, that the evidence is quite clear that he did kill himself. And I think, as you say, that is plausible. But it is the other part that is much more sketchy.
Yeah. Wow.
Indeed. Next up on Rising is President Obama trolling President Trump. We will discuss.
Trump incites it. So if he is getting trolled by him, he incites it. Trump does that, man. Shout out to Trump. What we got? I believe the problem here. Shout out to Apex. I believe the problem is there is a problem. All kinds of people on that list. Yeah. Freaks, weirdos, and legit intelligence assets. That's fair. I can get it. I can dig it. I believe there's lots of people in the government on that list, and they don't want us to see it. That's super fair. What would have been a way that they could have shared the list but redacted key names? I don't know. Okay. Also, believe Epstein may have. Knowing what we know about prison from watching, the YSL trial, watching, of course, the great Pookie escape down in New Orleans, I can totally understand it. The breakdown of the jail not being as safe as you think it is. I can dig that. But why is it taking almost 5 years for us to see 10 hours of video? Like, where's this video been? I just feel like there's more to that than necessary. Now, I'm not saying, I'm open to maybe he deleted himself. I'm open to that. But my question still is, why did it take so long to get that out? What was keeping us them from sharing that information, 5, 6 years ago, 5, 6, 4 or 5 years ago. Like what happened? So what was the deal? And yeah, it's just kind of sad. But we'll see how it all pans out. I do want to shift gears, and I was actually just want to jump online and make sure that I could try out some of these new assets that they gave us on StreamYard, which is kind of dope. Shout out to them. But I also want to look at, I know we all have heard about the floods that happened in Texas, which is like just amazing. Never seen a flash flood like that in my time rather. So I wanted to look at it and then also pull in a friend of the channel, Decoy Voice, who did a fair discussion about it, because we've been hearing a lot of people talking about the floods and placing blame, which is kind of like our human nature, that we just kind of try to find somebody to blame for something. So let me pull this in. Shout out. All right, so this is shocking video, shows how quickly the Texas flood rose over 20 feet in as little as 37 seconds. Wait, 37 seconds or 30 seconds minutes? Wow. That is so powerful. Insane. Amazing. He's still on the bridge too. Look how high it is on the bridge. Oh no, my guy, I might get off of that. Oh my gosh. Look how high that is. Oh my gosh. The water is over the bridge. Look how low it is. And I realize that stuff is now over the bridge. Man, look at this, man. This is absolutely staggering. We realize all those trees are going to get washed out. All those trees. Amazing. All right, player. And now look, man, that stuff is over the bridge. So that's probably better than 20 feet. amazing. Wow. That's some high level crazy, man. And a lot of people lost their lives, man. Really sad to hear. It's also kind of sad to hear that we already started like finger pointing and some people are like literally celebrating. This is kind of crazy. They're celebrating the flood. They're literally cheering for the flood. I can't even make this stuff make sense. So real quick, let me bring in
Flash
Decoy
floods in
Voice. Yeah, I know I like Decoy Voice. Does a great job of commentary on these kinds of topics, from LA fires to the riots and everything else in between. So I'm gonna bring Decoy Voice in. Thank you so much for rocking with us today. This is just a short live stream. I just wanted to check some system settings, see some new things that StreamYard gave us, talk about the Epstein files and how I think they're just playing in our faces, and then just do a quick review of this, what happened with the Texas floods. So here we go. Shout out to Decoy Voice.
Texas have
Green
taken
hearts
at
in the
least
chat when you can
82
hear.
lives, including several kids. But sadly, it seems like the left is cheering on behalf of the floods, as the day after, the amount of destruction is massive, making the rescue efforts incredibly difficult, as the flash floods continue to take their bridges in minutes. But even before the storm is stopped, CNN is already trying to blame climate change.
How much do you think the changing climate is part of what we are seeing go on here?
I think climate change is obviously a part of it. These floods are happening more often in more parts of the country and really all over the world. And so we have to face that reality.
And even trying to twist this about Trump.
The Austin San Antonio office is missing a warning coordination meteorologist due to the Trump administration's buyouts. Do you have any indication whether those or other cuts helped play a role in the fact that the people in the flood zone were not prepared and certainly not evacuated?
I can't say that conclusively, but when you have flash flooding, there's a risk that you won't have the personnel to do that analysis, do the predictions in the best way, and it could lead to tragedy. So I don't want to sit here and say conclusively that that was the case, but I do think that it should be investigated.
As this narrative is even being echoed by popular Twitter accounts, where they're practically laughing at the victims getting millions of views, making this about the budgetary cuts that President Trump made. The issue being, as the Cajun Navy points out, those cuts don't take effect until October. Even if they did have a valid point, it's simply disgusting that they can't even cover a natural disaster without trying to interject their propaganda. How they were right, and all this loss of life can be completely attributed to President Donald Trump and his supporters. And it's alarming how they can go to Elon Musk's AI, Grok, to prove their point, as Grok initially agrees with their narrative, that Trump cuts weaken forecasting and kids lost their life. And with a little pushback, it doubles down, citing the government, Wikipedia, and CNN. But after enough questioning as to why Trump is to blame, they eventually admit this isn't his fault. Eventually stating its previous responses were incorrect, those cuts weren't in effect. It's kind of scary how our mainstream media and social media algorithms have essentially been manipulated against the truth. But within months, AI chatbots are doing the same exact thing, which really makes you wonder how much the Elon Musk-Donald Trump feud is fueling this issue, as random social media accounts and AI bots are expected to say dumb things. But now we have US senators from halfway across the country quoting Grok to claim not having accurate weather forecasting is a consequence to Trump's brainless attacks, completely oblivious that there were several flood warnings the day before. Residents in the area reported getting several mobile warnings, and even the Associated Press admits the National Weather Service had more staff than normal. It's sad to see these posts get tens of millions of views, all parroting the same incorrect talking points coming from sources that we should be able to trust, which gets the public all riled up trying to fix an issue that doesn't even exist because they made this all about politics and how only the Democrats can save us from natural disasters. When you have real people out there actually trying to find survivors, as not only is Donut Operator physically searching, he's using his reach to share the relief drives. and reposting the local volunteer firefighters donation page after they lost all their equipment in the flood, which is especially important that he posts the QR code, as sadly there are several scumbags out there trying to make their Venmo address slight typos to try to get money. But the good news is they got so many donations after Donut reposted them, their account actually got flagged. And while Donut is helping the community, liberal live streamers are posting advertisements for a VPN with their promo code, trying to make a joke about how God did this because Texas has a ban on adult content. I understand he's speaking to a very specific Reddit-like audience, but this brief glimpse into how they see this catastrophic loss of life is all you need to know about the modern-day left. As he even went after donut operators specifically, as Donut previously criticized California Democrats for their response to the wildfires, but not Texas Republicans over the floods. And it's interesting how this narrative is being artificially promoted, as I'm even seeing people say the same about me, where I very openly criticized both Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass over their horrible response to the wildfires, as it continued to get worse as they seemingly danced over land grabs, then basically lied about how quickly they would rebuild the city, while I tried to just objectively and respectfully cover the floods in Texas. The difference being, in Texas, President Trump immediately declared a major disaster, unlocking federal funds and deploying the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA, with the DHS Secretary Noem immediately arriving to assist in the rescue and recovery efforts, which is in stark contrast to disasters like East Palestine that took the Biden administration weeks to respond, or even the Maui wildfires, when President Biden finally arrived and seemingly fell asleep. Up until recently, in Los Angeles, where the mayor desperately wanted Trump's federal funds.
We are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. We want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't
Yes,
cost
and
a
they
lot.
can.
You
and
should
they are
let them
able
do
to-
it, because
No,
by the
they
time you
can do
hire
that.
contractors, it's
Right.
going to be 2 years. You have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked,
signed
I
an
mean, you have a
emergency
very powerful
declaration.
emergency power, and you
Yes.
can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can.
And as of recently, it doesn't really seem like she delivered on those promises. But these are all facts based on reality, not fear-mongering from people that know next to nothing about what's actually happening, and only want to use natural disasters as a way to reinforce their pre-existing worldviews, which sadly makes me believe the left is actually cheering on behalf of the floods, wishing for the maximum loss of life, just to prove a political point. As even today, they believe there will be more evacuations in Texas. And even in North Carolina, they're beginning to see flooding from Tropical Storm Chantal. It's sad to think that no matter the circumstances that cause the next natural disaster, they're going to somehow shift the narrative towards Donald Trump. As I know, my coverage on the fires in Los Angeles were mainly based on solutions. Stop cutting civilian fire staff, refill the water reservoirs, and maybe don't party in Africa while your city is under a fire hazard. Meanwhile, all these posts from the left seem to echo the same invalid complaints about the Trump administration being to blame. And when they're proven wrong, they don't rescind their statements and say, hey, it looks like they're doing a good job. How can we help as well? No. They just immediately shift into the next talking point they've been told to parrot. But even without all the political points, people can clearly see the difference between Donut Operator and Destiny. And it's easy for the average American to choose which side they'd rather align with. So if you appreciate my concise, sometimes lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice.
Let me drop his link in the chat. Shout out to Decoy Voice. I think he's just has a great approach, fantastic commentary. I just dropped his link in the chat again. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us today. This was just a quick live stream. I want to make sure everything still worked because I've been doing more pre-recorded videos anyway. And it's also new features. Want to try them out? I can try them out while I'm in my next live stream or regular recorded video. Shout out there. So thank you so much. I don't know about this cloud seeding. I've heard about it. I don't know much about it in the long, like, why would they want to do that? but I've heard about it and I don't know what to make of it. So, but thank you again, Apex. I really appreciate you for sure. Those are my 2 videos and my article. Got it. All right, good people. Thank you again for rocking with me. Hey, by the way, thank you for watching the videos this month. Man, July has started out like gangbusters. I really would like to hear what you all think about those videos I've done on Candace Owens. I think this is such an interesting young lady. And let me drop that playlist in here too for y'all. I'd love for you to check it out and give me some more of your thoughts on it. But yeah, anything, please feel free to check out what I'm doing over there. And make sure you hit the like button. And when you hit the like button, it helps out a lot. Even if you already watched the video and you say, hey, I didn't hit the like button, go back and watch it again and then hit the like button. It'll help out a whole lot. Let me just grab this and drop it in here. Shout out. This is that playlist I made of the 3 videos I did on Candace. And I'd love to get your feedback on it. So help your brother out. Help me out. Everybody, thank you so much. Me and Chief Executive Second Born about to go drive. So we will we will see you over there. I gotta hear what you gotta say, but you gotta make sure you like that button. Hit that like button, my brother. I think she's an interesting young lady. But thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for helping support the channel, being a member or just a subscriber. Either way, I really do appreciate it. Thank you again for liking the video and for watching, all that kind of stuff like that. It really does help out a ton. So thank you so much. I'm gonna get ready to bug out of here so we can go drive around the block or something. Maybe we'll get some lunch. Who knows? Anyway, thank you again. I'll see you all real soon. Grace and peace.